I found out that my pregnant bestie, my best friend since elementary school, well, she wants to get with my husband, and guys, you're not going to believe what else I found out about her. Luckily, I have a loyal husband because he came and told me this. If one day you found out that your best friend was getting cheated on, then you would tell him or, get the truth out, right? But what if the situations were reversed? What if the cheating was being done by your best friend, and you know their partner well? What's the right move then? You cannot just tell on them, they're your best friend, and you can't let it go because they're literally cheating. Well, I'm asking because I'm going through a very, very similar dilemma that's making my head hurt. Let me just tell you the situation. My name is Rachel, I'm 30 and female, and I've encountered a huge problem. A problem that I've avoided last time on a technicality, but this time there's no doubt about it. So I'm married to my amazing husband, Jake, old Jakey Poo, and the only thing I can tell you about him is that he's wealthy. He's rich. I'm kidding, not about the rich part though. Although a great thing to have a husband, he is also an amazing person. I mean, can you believe it? For the first 3 dates, I didn't even know he was rich at all. He was testing me. It made me believe that he worked a small job, which obviously I had no problem with, and I paid for 2 of our first 3 dates. I think this impressed him, and he deemed me worthy enough to know that he was actually loaded. But he soon found out that I didn't really care, because I almost ended everything when I found out that he lied to me like that. Turns out, unlike in movies, you don't just feel really happy that your date turns out to be rich, it just feels like you got played. But somehow things worked out between us, and I made sure that he worked hard to get me back. Other than the rich thing, he was a great guy, and I liked him a lot, and that's why we worked. After that, there wasn't any day where I had a doubt about him. He was and has been the most amazing guy I've met, and I'm glad I married him. Well, once again, not just because of the money, but it helps. Now that you know everything about my good life, let me introduce you to the person who was behind this big issue of mine. Now, my life is not without problems. I do have some. But ever since kindergarten, the only person responsible for me going through big problems has been my best friend Robin, who, like I already mentioned, is behind this one too. So, Robin and I met when we were very young, as her mom was a good friend of my dad, and we've been best friends since the day that we met. We've been through most things in life together, and even though I'm about to say something bad about her in a few paragraphs, Robin is my everything. I love her like I would love my own sister, and she's been through so much with me. Like the kids say now and then, she's been with me since day one, and she's not a bad person at all. She's actually really great. She's kind of fun, but she can be cruel and evil at times. Without her, I would not have done half the things I've achieved in life. She's also the reason I met my husband. I was supposed to meet her for lunch one day and was really late. And when I was waiting for her, I happened to talk to a handsome guy who later turned out to be rich. You already know the story. Just like me, Robin is also married. She got married years ago to Chris, whom she met on a blind date. Chris is a wonderful guy who, although not very wealthy, loves Robin like she is a billionaire. Now, why did I bring up that he wasn't healthy? Well, that's because it was one of the reasons Robin was hesitant to marry him. She wanted a rich husband just like me and wanted to not work. Now, I do work and I like to spend my own money. But yes, having a rich partner is amazing, but it's not everything. Now, even though it was not my place to tell her because I married rich, I told her not everything is about money. Because it's very hard to find a rich guy who loves you, doesn't treat women like garbage, and is loyal. Believe me, it's a very small circle, and in the end, his love won. And she got married, and it was happily ever after, right? Well, not according to what I saw a few days ago. The problem with Robin is that she's incredibly unlucky. Things typically never go her way, and we've faced many problems because of it. She found the worst of it all when it came to dating because the guy that she would date would constantly turn out to be the worst people ever. Honestly, at first, I blamed her choice, but at one point, even I had to accept that she was just cursed. But Chris, he's different and always has been. He is somehow immune to her bad luck and had never changed. He never cheated and was just a perfect guy for her, so when they hit 1 year of dating, we celebrated like crazy. So, slowly, Chris has become like a good friend of mine, and I care about him just like I care about my darling Robin. Random confession. Sometimes I do get the feeling that Robin is jealous of me for having a rich partner, but I just tell myself that it's all just in my head. But lately, I've been able to get that thought out of my head because of what I saw. So all of it started a few months ago when one day, suddenly, Robin and Chris announced that they were pregnant. I couldn't really believe it. I was so happy for them, and I could not imagine Robin as a mom. I made fun of her all day, saying she was going to get very fat. She did not like my jokes. We celebrated, but a few days later, I saw something weird. I was picking up something for Jake after work, and I saw a couple. Now, I can recognize Robin from just about anywhere, given that I can clearly see her whole body. I was kind of far away and in a car, but it looked like Robin was hugging a guy I didn't know. Now, I could have sworn that it was Robin, but it was so far away, and I didn't know that the guy that I refused to even believe it was a guy. I did try calling her, though, but she did not pick up, and Chris said that she was out due to work. I don't know, it was weird. But I chose to believe that there was no way it could be her, and decided to let it go. Now, I did not talk to her about it either, because it seemed like a very stupid question to ask. But a few days ago, I kind of got the answer to my question, which I had never asked or even wanted the answer to. I'll just be straight with it. I found my pregnant best friend on a date with another guy. No, it's not her relative or a distant cousin or a coworker or anything like that, but believe me, if it were, I would know about it. And within a few minutes of watching her, she proved to me that it was a date. Now, it was the same guy I had seen all those months ago, so I immediately assumed that she was on a date. Now, my first instinct was to think that she was innocent in all of this because she is my best friend and I wanted to help her. So I called to get her out of there and asked what's going on. She cut my call, guys, and typed that she was busy with work. Chris confirmed that she was really busy with work and would come home late. Well, this made me mad, so I took some pictures, and while I was taking a video, they kissed. Yes, they kissed, proving that my theory was right and making me sad because it meant that my best friend was most probably cheating on her husband. I say most probably because, well, I still want to believe that there could be something that could make her absolutely innocent. But I might be delusional about it, I don't know. I don't think I can blame bad luck on this one. I think she just really messed up, and I was so shocked after seeing that, I just left. And it's been 2 days, and I have not told anyone about this or done anything with the information, and it's eating me alive. I've not even told my husband because he's not good at keeping secrets. What do? Do I confront her? But if I do and say that she cheated, I would not be able to keep this from her. Please help me with this one, guys, because I'm freaking out. I'm really scared that I might cause my best friend to split with her husband. If it were a guy in my position, would he keep this a secret to help a brother out? But if I did that, wouldn't I be doing the wrong thing? Because she is messed up. Guys, please help me. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. So today's story, we have a cheater. Well, possibly. I don't know. It's going to get pretty deep in the next few updates, guys, but I do have 2 comments to look at. But first, let me ask you this. If you were in OP's position, would you rat on your best friend? Because we all know cheating is wrong, and just standing there being a witness to it, that can be pretty heavy on your mental state. Let me know what you would do in the comment section down below. Let's check out the first comment. This one is actually from a character called David Blaine. Yeah, that's his real name on here, but anyways, let's check it out. David Blaine says, honestly, OP, I fully understand what you're going through. You're definitely stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think you should just talk to her and fully understand what's going on. I'm not saying she's innocent in this, but there might be a good reason behind it. Talk to your friend and understand the full picture first. Sometimes it does not look like it, but there are things going on that you might not be aware of. But there is a big possibility that she's just cheating on him and she's a dirty cheater, so be ready for that too. Comment number 2 comes from Serial Kelly. I can't understand why you are even here, posting this. The decision feels super easy to make. Think like a dude and just let it go. You saw what you saw, and now you remember nothing. Are you really going to risk ruining your pregnant friend's marriage just because you're a bit curious? You are her best friend. So her husband does not come into the equation. Forget what you saw, OP, and help her by staying quiet. Act like a brother and help her out. Update number 1. Hey friends, it's been over a week since my last update and a lot has happened. So if you remember last week, I was struggling with making a decision after I found my pregnant best friend with someone else. Firstly, I want to thank you guys for giving me advice and trying to help. Let me tell you what happened. Now, many of you wanted me to tell my husband what happened, but I've already told you guys why I can't. I'm not sure what the next move is going to be, or the next time we go to Robin's for dinner. He'll be able to keep it a secret. He's a very honest person and generally can't hold secrets well. He holds mine, but he's not going to hold Robin's. So for now, I've decided to not tell him this, but I also can't keep things from him, so eventually I will tell him. Now, let me come to the decision. So I was struggling, and no matter how much I thought I put into it, I could not make a decision on what would be the best thing to do. At one point, I even considered not telling anyone anything. But I knew I would not be able to live like that, so a few days after my last update, I came to the conclusion that I should just confront my best friend and see what's up. I mean, she wasn't going to lie to me anymore because she had no reason to. If I wanted to go to Chris with this information, I already would have. Also, I kind of still believe that there could be a reason behind all this. So yesterday, when Robin was free, we went for dinner at our favorite place, and I brought the topic up. I started by asking her if she would ever cheat on Chris, and she found the question very weird. She then asked me if I was thinking of cheating, and I just said it was hypothetical. Then she made a joke that if it was with someone as rich as my husband, she would, and laughed. But I did not laugh because for me, this joke was true for her. She immediately noticed that something was wrong and asked me what happened between us. So I told her how I'd seen her on a date for the first time a few months ago and how recently I'd seen her with the same guy. I didn't tell her about the evidence I had and did not mention the kiss at first. She did not panic and asked me if that was all, and I told her that it was not some simple thing, cheating on your husband, and she said she was not cheating. She lied to me and tried to tell me that it was a guy from work, and both times it was a work discussion, which would have lined up perfectly with what her husband had told me, except for the fact that she literally kissed him. I told her that I've never imagined there would come a day that she would lie to me and told her about the kiss. Then she had no choice. She starts to tear up and apologizes to me for being a liar. She said that not all of it was a lie, though, and the guy was a work colleague of hers. Then she told me the cold-blooded truth. So it turns out a few months ago she started getting feelings for a guy who had recently joined her company. She fought these feelings for some time, but he felt the same and kept pushing for her to go on a date with him. After she announced her pregnancy, she was feeling kind of ugly, so the attention helped. But slowly she found herself getting more and more attracted. When I saw her the first time, she was really on a work date. And after that, she stopped herself, but when I saw her next, that was her third date with him. She even went to his room, but she stopped herself before anything really bad happened. She told me that it was hard to believe, and anyone I told this to would probably think she cheated, but she did not. The thing is, because of the way she told me, I kind of believed her. I think she really did not go through with it. She was crying, but I was still mad at her and told her how big of a mistake she made. Because if Chris ever found out, he was not going to like it, obviously. Well, she then spent the next half hour begging me to not tell anyone about this, especially Chris or my husband. I told her I would think about it, and she promised me that something like this was never going to happen again. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I've decided not to trust Robin and not tell anyone about it. It looks like she genuinely made a mistake, and as much as I feel bad about Chris, I cannot do this to her. I love her. I hope I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the good thing here. Right? Update number 2. Hey guys, I know, I'm sorry. It's been a month since my last update. And let me start this by saying that I was wrong about both my husband and my best friend. It turns out my husband can keep a secret. I'll explain. And my best friend is really not the person I believe she was, so let me explain that too. So I actually assumed my previous update was going to be the last one, as there was nothing else that could really go down, but something did go down. About 2 weeks after my last update, I started feeling really bad about hiding this from Chris. And even though my decision was final, I wanted a second opinion from my husband. Honestly, the people who were telling me to talk to my husband were unknowingly telling me to do the best thing because there was something he was hiding from me too. I tried to hold on for as long as I could, but after a week, the guilt became so bad that I could not anymore. For the people calling me a bad best friend, you have to understand that he married Robin, and Chris has become close to me as a family member. Obviously, I cared less about him than Robin, but I still didn't want to hide things from him. Plus, I started thinking, what if she lied to me again and was cheating behind his back? So last week, I gave up the promise and sat my husband down and told him everything. I told him how I had seen Robin cheating, how I had confronted her, and what she had told me. The weird thing about all of this was that he did not look shocked at all, and he actually looked a bit worried. The more I explained what happened, the more he looked like he was struggling with something. So as soon as I finished explaining, I asked him what the heck is wrong with him, and why was his face looking like that? I mean, his face was telling me he was hiding something from me. I asked him what it was, but he would not tell. He then confirmed that he had something that he wanted to tell me for months now, but did not know if it was the right thing to do. So he had gone to keep it quiet and now feels like, well, he should say it. But before he did, he asked me how I felt about Robin right now. He asked sincerely, so I tell him the truth. I told him that even if she did not fully cheat, Robin made a big mistake, and I hated that she did not come clean to Chris. He deserved to know the truth from his own wife, and I guess my husband liked my answer, because he asked me if I was sure I wanted to hear what he had. I told him he could tell me anything. Then he proceeds to tell me the most shocking news I've ever heard in my life. Are you ready? He said that even a few months ago he sometimes felt weird hanging out with Robin and always tried to only hang out when I was around. Actually, I had noticed this because me and Chris hung out sometimes. But Robin and my husband almost never really hung out together. He said that's because whenever they hung out, Robin would sometimes act weird and make him feel like she was into him. But he always told himself that this was all just a misunderstanding, and she just cared about him because he was married to me, so he never even thought of doubting her. I mean, I understand, as I probably would have done the same thing in his position. It's tough to doubt a friendship like mine and hers. But a few months ago, before she announced her pregnancy, Robin did something that really shocked Jake. He says that during one of our dinner parties, while me and Chris were busy playing games, she started strongly hinting that she wants to sleep with him. Jake refused to believe this and kept telling himself that she was just drunk, but she just kept hitting on him nonstop and kept making movies on him. Move after move after move. She never directly said anything to him, but her behavior made him sure that she wanted to cheat with him. Towards the end of the night, when she tried one last time, he told her to keep herself in check and told her that he loved me. This kind of snapped her out of it, and she made Chris leave in a hurry. Jake wanted to tell me everything that happened, but felt like Robin might not have been in the right state of mind. She was drunk. Plus, he was scared of breaking our relationship up since we've been friends for a long time, as he knew how much I loved Robin. He didn't want me to get stuck in the middle of this trying to see who was right. He gave Robin one chance, and she did not hit on him again. So he decided to forget everything, but when I told him what happened, he didn't feel like he should keep a secret anymore. Guys, can you believe this? She was trying to sleep with my husband. This also proves that her cheating was not a mistake. She's just a cheater. I can't believe this is the Robin I grew up with. I've not spoken to her since and have been avoiding her, and honestly, I don't even want to see her face. I'll let you guys know exactly what happens. Update number 3. Hey guys, it's been 2 months since my last update, and a lot has happened. Let me just continue. So I was very mad at Robin for trying to sleep with my husband and was a little mad at him for keeping it a secret. Don't worry, it did not last because he really had no fault in this. He only wanted to make me happy, and he only hid it because he didn't want to break my friendship. But I was really, really mad at Robin, to the point where I did not speak to her for weeks on end. I honestly did not want to because my darkest fears have come true. Robin was jealous of me and wanted to ruin my wedding, making her a bad friend, and the one person I trusted since I was a child had turned into this? I was upset. Now this is going to be a bit hard to believe given what you're going to find out in a few paragraphs, but I was so mad that I was not even planning on doing anything to her. I wasn't planning on confronting her or taking revenge by telling Chris about her cheating with that guy or anything like that. I didn't want anything to do with her. I ignored her calls and texts, and she understood that I was mad, but she didn't know why, so she kept trying. Then over a month ago, she came to my house to invite me to her baby shower. There, when I refused to talk, she gets mad at me and left. The next day, Chris calls me and tells me that even though he did not know what was going on, he wanted me to come. You know me, I couldn't say no to Chris. He had done nothing to me, and my husband also convinced me to go, saying maybe I would also feel like confronting her there when she's alone. So we went, and well, some crazy things went down. But once again, let me make it clear, I had no plan and I did not shoot first. The baby shower was going well, and I was just outright ignoring Robin, which I guess was very annoying for her. And I will not lie, I was enjoying making her suffer because she literally destroyed our friendship. Now, the only plan I had was to get through this event and then just cut her off and tell Chris whatever I felt like telling him. But Robin had to do something right then and there. At one point, she just stood up and got everyone's attention and said that the baby she was carrying was my husband's. She said it so casually, but it sent a wave of shock amongst everyone there. It created a huge amount of chaos that resulted in all of us getting confused, especially Chris. The poor guy was so stressed out. After letting it stew for a minute, she then said that she was just joking and that she got all of us at once. Robin laughed, and some people found it funny while others were just weirded out and annoyed. I did not like the joke, and my husband felt the same. Honestly, it was the last straw for me. Seeing her laugh like that, I don't know, it just made me so mad that I decided to tell everyone something, but in my case it was true. So I unloaded, lock and loaded, baby, and told Chris and everyone there how Robin tried to sleep with my husband and was jealous of me. Everybody was shocked again, and Robin immediately tried to turn it around, saying that my husband tried to sleep with her. So it made me so mad that I just showed everyone the photo and video I took of her on a date and told Chris everything. Chris, asked my husband then, and he told him what happened and Chris apologized. He asked Robin to tell the truth, and she still tried to act innocent. So he just left while she begged him not to leave her and cried. Well, we left too, and later I found out that Chris had kicked Robin out of his house. It's been a few weeks since then and Chris is filing for divorce. It turns out that when she tried to get him back, he asked her to get a DNA test, and she refused, making him doubt if it was even his baby. So Chris is going to divorce her and get a court-ordered DNA test to see if this is his child or not, and if not, he's not going to give her anything. Yeah, I was actually feeling a little bit bad for her until a week ago when she showed up at my place claiming that I ruined her life. Do you know that I was actually thinking about helping her? Because no matter what, I did care about her. But no, she didn't need any help. Instead of apologizing and regretting everything, she was here to blame me. So I told her I didn't care and had cut her off. I'm never going to see her again or even think about her. And my husband agrees. She ruined everything herself. And guys, hopefully this is the end of my story. Thanks for reading. I will update if anything else happens. There was one comment in particular that got a lot of attention and a lot of people were against it. Here it is. Let me know what you think about it. This one comes from Covert Marshall 33. I can't believe you did that, OP. Why did you have to ruin your best friend's life like that after everything, you did for her? You spent over half of this story trying to help her, so why ruin it now? She played a joke and you told everyone a secret you swore to never say. Yes, she's a bad person and all, and she made a mistake, but you did not want to confront her, so why do it publicly all of a sudden? Your anger does not justify making a pregnant woman homeless. Guys, this comment got so many hate comments, but there were also some people that supported the comment. Let me know what you think about it in our comment section down below, and if you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to subscribe. Once again, my name's Mr. Reddito, and if you're new here, I drop stories like this every day. I hope to see you tomorrow, and of course remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya.